Hello everyone, I am Professor Liang Junkai from the Department of Applied Psychology at Chuang University. At the invitation of the project leader, Professor Li Hongwei, I'm offering 2 courses as part of this project. With my background in management, my research interests lie in industrial organizational psychology, specifically in organizational behavior and consumer psychology and transportation management. Therefore, in this project, I am offering 2 courses related to marketing management: Indigenous culture industry and marketing, and intelligent marketing and Indigenous industry development. Below, I will first share the teaching outcomes of the Indigenous culture industry and marketing course, including both the successful and less than ideal student results, and attempt to explain the possible reasons behind these outcomes. The course Indigenous Culture Industry and Marketing was offered twice in the second semester of the 111th and 112th academic years. The main goal of this course was to enhance students' understanding and imagination regarding the Indigenous industries and to develop marketing strategies aimed at improving the current state of 4 Indigenous industries, including tourism, gastronomy, sports, leisure and performing arts, and cultural and creative industries, with the marketing strategy development tools taught in the course. First, I will provide an overview of the assessment methods used during the first offering of the course. The primary evaluation methods for course outcomes were the midterm and final reports. For the midterm report, each group was required to use the SWOT analysis method taught in the course to analyze the strengths, weaknesses, market opportunities and threats of the Indigenous industry they were responsible for. SWOT analysis serves as the foundation of marketing analysis, helping businesses assess their internal and external conditions. Based on the SWOT results, students were expected to develop TOWS matrix. The TOWS matrix is composed of SO, strength opportunity, WO, weakness opportunity, SW, strength weakness, and WT, weakness threat, which are then used to propose suitable operational strategies for the businesses. The midterm report was scheduled after the guest lectures by the industry experts, allowing students to first explore the business models of Indigenous industries and then independently gather relevant data on the industry they were responsible for. They were expected to attempt drafting SWOT matrix for the industry. Among the midterm results, the group focusing on the performing arts industry provided a relatively complete report. They started with an analysis of the current industry status, background, and conducted a PEST analysis, P for political, E for environmental, S for social, and T for technological of the market. And they also used parts of the 5 forces analysis to examine competitors and consumers. They concluded with a SWOT analysis, as shown here, and then proposed potential marketing strategies, including the use of social media, collaboration between Indigenous online singers and content creators, and partnerships with the education sector to cultivate Indigenous talent in music and dance. Overall, their marketing process was relatively complete, though the strategies were still in their early stages. Notably, they skipped the TOWS matrix and directly brainstormed strategies, which reduced the overall rigor of their approach. The other 2 groups also attempted to write a SWOT matrix, but their strategy development processes were less complete in comparison. For instance, the group working on gastronomy did not finish their SWOT analysis and only provided an introduction to Indigenous cuisine. It was obvious that most of the students in the course did not have a management background, and since it was their first time engaging with Indigenous industries, it was natural that their application of analytical tools and depth of industry analysis reflected the hesitation and incompleteness typical of beginners in strategy analysis. The focus of the second half of the course was on conducting a SWOT analysis of the Indigenous sales and operations site, the Judong Waji San Park. To facilitate this assignment, I followed Section Chief Pong's SWOT analysis session by introducing a strategic planning tool developed by renowned strategist Professor Da Hsian Situ called the Industry Matrix Analysis Method. The goal was for students to use this framework to analyze the marketing strategies of the Waji San Park more systematically and concretely. However, the semester's schedule was quite tight. In addition to lectures on analytical concepts and tools, we also arranged guest lectures by Indigenous industry experts and 2 field visits to Indigenous industry sites, including Judong Waji San Park and the Wufong Heping tribe. As a result, the time allotted for covering the industry matrix analysis method was compressed, and I could only briefly go over its principles, structure, and application through case studies. Due to this rushed approach, the students did not fully grasp the method, which led to final report outcomes that fell significantly short of the original expectations. The final report essentially built on the midterm SWOT analysis, but the marketing strategy analysis became more specific. Each group was required to apply the SWOT matrix and the industry matrix analysis method to deconstruct the business processes of the shops they visited at Waji San Park and then propose corresponding marketing strategies. However, in the actual final presentations, while all groups were able to provide SWOT analysis results and suggest marketing strategies, the application of the industry matrix analysis method was absent. Despite the lack of implementation of the industry matrix analysis method, the students' continuous exposure to real business environments and their growing familiarity with the SWOT matrix led to noticeable improvements in their final SWOT analysis compared to the midterm reports. Some groups were even able to propose more concrete strategies based on the TAOS matrix, including tactics aligned with the 4 Ps, product, price, place, promotion, and 4 Cs, customer, cost, convenience, communication. The reports from the group focusing on the gastronomy industry are shown here. Overall, while the outcomes of the first iteration of the course weren't excellent, they were at least satisfactory. When given the opportunity to offer the course a second time, I began to reflect on how to address the issues encountered during the first iteration. For the second offering, I made several adjustments, including first, scheduling the tool analysis concepts and lessons before the guest lectures. Second, limiting the field visits to only the Judong Waji San Park. Third, providing a more detailed explanation of the industry matrix analysis method. And fourth, guiding students to use generative AI. I will now explain in detail how these adjustments impacted the course outcomes. The assessment methods were slightly different from the previous semester. In addition to the midterm and final reports, students were also required to present a report on their visit to Waji San Park, summarizing their findings and reflections. Based on the experience of the first course, Section Chief Pong suggested that we temporarily set aside the emphasis on SWOT analysis. For beginners in marketing strategy analysis who lacked industry analysis and management experience and were not skilled at gathering data, their SWOT analyses lacked the depth necessary to form effective marketing strategies. This, in turn, led to superficial marketing tactics. Therefore, we decided to guide students to dive into the value chain concept and incorporate the blue ocean strategy. Instead of focusing on an overall SWOT analysis, students were encouraged to start by examining the operational processes of businesses, understanding the various functions required for business operations, and thinking about strategies from the perspective of process improvement. This approach made it easier for beginners in marketing strategy analysis to deconstruct businesses, though I must admit that it came at the expense of a more comprehensive, systematic view. For the midterm report, we required students to conduct an analysis of the stakeholders involved in the Indigenous industry they were responsible for, helping them gain an initial understanding of the industry's key players in the market. At the same time, we encourage students to use generative AI to assist in developing strategies for industry, exhibition, and sales. The results, however, varied. Only one group, which is responsible for the tourism industry, produced outcomes that were relatively acceptable, and the results from the other two groups were less satisfactory, with one group failing to meet expectations entirely. This group eventually abandoned the course and did not submit a final report, ultimately leading to them failing the course. The results from the tourism group, as shown in these three pictures, focused on Indigenous cuisine as a key aspect of promoting the tourism industry. They analyzed the relationships between businesses, customers, competitors, complementers, and suppliers, and engaged in discussions with generative AI to explore how technology could be leveraged for industry exhibition and sales under this framework. Compared to the midterm reports from the first iteration of the course, while the analytical tools used this time may seem smaller in scope, the resulting analysis and marketing plans were much more concrete. I believe this makes the strategies more practical for real-world application. The other two groups did use generative AI, but they were unfamiliar with the stakeholder analysis framework. Instead of engaging in dialogue with the AI using a structured analytical framework, they hoped to receive direct answers from the AI. Naturally, this led to very superficial content. Through this midterm report, the students realized that to obtain meaningful answers from generative AI, especially for tasks that require creativity, such as marketing strategy, development, and analysis, the user must have a solid foundation of domain knowledge. Only then can they expect more specific and useful responses from the AI. For the final report, the content was similar to the first course, requiring students to conduct interviews and analyses of the shops in the Judong Wajisan Park and propose concrete marketing strategies. This time, however, I specifically required them to start with the industry matrix analysis method for a more systematic analysis. To support this, I expanded the course content on the industry matrix analysis method and scheduled it before the Wajisan Park visit. The goal was for students to examine the park through the lens of the industry matrix framework. As expected, the results mirrored those of the midterm report. Only the tourism group successfully met the requirements, and they even received high praise from Section Chief Pong, who is responsible for Indigenous industry development. He believed that this group had, at the very least, helped Indigenous tourism operators identify key issues in their business strategies. Part of the tourism group's final report is shown in these two pictures. The first one depicts an Indigenous tourism farm, and through the industry matrix analysis method, the group systematically deconstructed the farm's current business operations and highlighted key management problems. This outcome was precisely what I had hoped to achieve with this semester's course. This picture shows the improvement strategies developed by the students using the paid version of ChatGPT. However, it's clear that ChatGPT's analysis still lacked depth. After discussing with the students, we realized that they were unfamiliar with the industry matrix analysis method. When they fed the analysis matrix results into ChatGPT, it couldn't fully grasp the meaning behind the chart. At that point, additional steps seemed necessary to enable ChatGPT to better understand. Specifically, we needed to translate the chart into detailed text, explaining what each cell in the industry matrix represents, the relationships between the cells, and clearly identifying the operational issues highlighted by the connections between these cells. Only then would ChatGPT be able to generate more concrete and actionable improvement strategies. Nevertheless, we were quite satisfied with the progress the students made with ChatGPT's assistance. Compared to the previous course, the results were more encouraging. It was evident that incorporating ChatGPT into the second course indeed accelerated the students' learning process and led to more in-depth analysis. However, this experience also underscored the importance of domain knowledge in the humanities and social sciences for generative AI to produce creative and meaningful outcomes. The above is my explanation of the students' semester outcomes in the course Indigenous Culture Industry and Marketing. I sincerely welcome any feedback and guidance from everyone. Thank you. Now here's my look wearing Indigenous attire. What do you all think? And to wrap up, let's enjoy another song, Tech Innovation for Traditional Industries, with lyrics by ChatGPT and composed by Suno, accompanied by clips of students and teachers visiting the community. Thank you for watching.
在山林的深处，传统产业面临挑战，泰雅族的工艺渐渐被时代淡忘。部落观光停滞，游客难以留存我们的文化，正需要新的转机与希望。在困境中，我们不再止步，高科技的光芒照亮了前行的路。我们是科技传承者，要用创新让传统终生。 数据的力量带来新机会，人工智慧的辅助让文化不再沉睡，前卫与务实完美的结合，高科技的力量让未来充满希望。数据分析市场，了解顾客的需求，人工智慧推荐。 打造精准的行销，虚拟展示平台，让工艺品走向世界。我们的努力让传统焕发新颜。在困境中，我们不再止步，高科技的光芒照亮了前行的路。我们是科技传承者，要用创新让传统终生。大数据的力量带来新机会，人工智慧的辅助让文化。 沉睡，前卫与务实完美的结合，高科技的力量让未来充满希望。手牵着手，心连着心，在未来的路上不再孤单前行。科技的翅膀让梦想高飞，泰雅族的未来由我们来。 在这高科技的时代，我们勇敢前行。泰雅族的精神